back. Today I thought I'll go through Champ's journey with you. Back in November 2016 I saw an advert on Facebook for a little done 6-month-old colt, unhandled and everything, and he was down in Wales. But at the time we couldn't get down to view him, so we bought Champ from a Facebook post and they delivered him down to us. I don't think that's the way any horse should be bought. We paid them a deposit for the petrol to get down to us and then the rest of the money when he came. But buying unseen like that can be so dangerous. I don't advise anyone to do it, but come along to getting Champ. So he arrived one Friday evening, and as I say, he was unhandled, so he was just rounded off the trailer that he arrived in and straight into his stable. It wasn't until the next day that we actually saw that he had a really bad cut on his leg, so we had to have an emergency vet visit. So when the vet came out, he also decided, same as what we were thinking, that this cut should have been stitched, but it was now too old and started granulating. So we had to pressure bandage his leg for 2 weeks. Of course, that's not an easy feat to do for any youngster as it is, let alone one that's not actually handled. So he had to be handled extremely quickly, because every other day for the next 2 weeks, I was on my own having to pressure bandage his leg. And to be fair, he took to it really quite well. So we just spent that winter getting to know him, getting him used to stuff, loading in the lorry and handling and teaching him to trot up. So come next spring, around March, April time 2017, we took him out to his first show, and you could see straight away he had the Welsh fire in his belly. He was a feisty little so-and-so. Flashy, he could show off, but feisty to go with it. I don't like to push my foals, so he went out early that year and again just left to grow and mature. It wasn't until late summer again we decided to take him to another show, and he was the devil. I think he spent more time on 2 legs than he did on 4. No, you know, when he goes good, but when he's not sure of something, his go-to is to rear up, and you could see it apparent in the show ring. It's all new to him. It's loads of horses that he's not seen before running around, and it was all just so much fun. He finds showing extremely fun, and he was just the devil. He spent more time up on his back legs than anything. I'd never bought him to be an in-hand show horse anyway. I'd always wanted him to be my ridden show horse. So just over the next year, just took him out to a couple of shows. Some days he'd behave, some days he was just a wild nightmare. Never nasty, it was just more rearing up out of, like I say, fun for him. It was never done in a nasty way. But yeah, we had a few shows still on the back legs, but so I took him out to a few to try and settle him, but not too many to blow his brains. So early 2019 he's now a 3-year-old, so we started to back him lightly and he took to it really well. But again, every time there was something he didn't understand, every time something new come along, he would be on his back legs. And I've never known a horse that can stay up on his back legs for as long as he did and walk. He literally walked on 2 legs. So it got to the point that it was not safe. So we decided to geld him. And so of course, with that, we gave him plenty of time off just to recover from the gelding. So summer 2019, we brought him back to work again, and he was an absolute dream. Gelding him was the best thing that ever happened to him. I'd always wanted to keep him as a stallion, license him up, but Champ could not keep his balls. They were just far too much for him. So we were just breaking him to ride again, having fun, getting him out hacking, and he really was doing amazing at the ridden. So we were just going out, having fun, doing little bits with him. You know, I don't rush my horses, but then COVID hit and we could ride at home, and at first the hacking that we do, that closed because of COVID, but then it did open up later on. So we were just getting him fit, having fun with him. He really come out of his shell. Once you get Champ to, once he understands something, he puts his all into it, and he was the most amazing ridden horse going, to the point that I didn't want to, when COVID opened up again, I didn't want to go to local shows. I was going to miss that step completely, and I just wanted to get him out to the affiliated showing. He was talented. So I ordered him a brand new saddle, made to measure and everything. So that arrived in early March time, 2021. Had it all fitted to him. Lovely, brand new saddle, absolutely perfect. And I started riding him, and knowing that I'm the only one that has ever ridden that horse, I know him inside out. So at the beginning, this saddle, he was going really well, doing well, but then he started backing off, and he was not the horse that I knew. He was not naughty at all. If I had only just bought him, you'd think he was being a young horse and playing up. But because I'd had him from a foal, I knew him inside out. I knew something wasn't quite right. So to begin with, Champ gets bored quickly. So I took him out to dressage, just so it was a different venue, different atmosphere, you know, to see whether he was just bored riding at home and round the usual hacking tracks. So went to dressage, and although he did perform a little bit better, still was not perfect, so I wasn't happy. So then I got hold of another saddle fitter, and she told me straight away she didn't think this saddle had fitted him at all since we bought it, and it's actually bridging over his back and making him arch his neck and dip his back. So his whole way of going had changed in just a matter of weeks of having this new saddle. So that must have been mid-June 2021 where I'd seen the second saddle fitter, and then she'd now told me not to ride in that saddle at all. I was to get him a bareback pad because he was a highly strung horse. We wanted to keep him in work. So I was to buy him a bareback pad. So of course that would fit him, whatever shape he got, if he got fatter, skinnier, everything, and just ride him briefly in that. So I was riding him for quite a bit in that, just hacking, just having fun, and I wasn't happy still with his way of going. Where the old saddle had made him dip his back a little bit, this bareback pad was now sitting right behind his withers and causing him discomfort. So again, I was told not to use the bareback pad. So the physios have been involved and the vet's been involved all the way through this. So the physio just told me to lunge him in the Pessoa, get him back down to working long and low, over his back, getting an overtrack into his feet again, into his movement, and getting him to really lift and strengthen his back. Because the shape he was at then, if we bought him another new saddle, it really wouldn't fit him weeks afterwards, because we were trying to now get him to move properly again and build the muscle up. So whatever saddle I had got him really wouldn't fit him quickly. So we decided I would just bareback ride him if I wanted to ride him and keep training him that way. and just solely lunge him to lift his back. So this went on for nearly a year of me just lunging and bareback riding him. It wasn't until early this year that we finally decided it was time to buy him a new saddle. So April 2022, we've got him a new saddle. So we've just been riding him more in this saddle, slow and steady to begin with, to bring him back into it. Still lots of lunging to get my weight off of him so he could still lift and strengthen that back. He's still got absolutely no balance whatsoever in the canter. It's like having a newly broken horse again. So the training we're doing with Champ, we've gone back to the basics completely. He's not the horse now that I knew when we first broke him in, and sadly that's all because I bought him a new saddle, and I feel so bad for that, but I thought I was doing the right thing. I had a saddle fitter out to it, and I just trusted what they said. This now brings us to like the present day. We've not had this new saddle too long. I'm just hacking him out, having fun. He enjoys jumping, I don't, but he does. So when we go hacking out, I do jump him a little bit. I try just so he has fun. He finds getting the right leg canter extremely hard. So jump in, he then comes out the jump and gets it. So we just carry on cantering, just building him up like that. I am not going to push him at all, but I'm hoping we will get the old Champ that I actually knew back again soon. So that's Champ's journey so far. It's been a bit of a wild one. So we're just treating him now as a newly broken horse and getting him out and about to see life, and hopefully have him back out showing again properly next year. So as I say, not going to push him. Spend the rest of this year just having fun and getting him to enjoy being ridden again and know it's not going to hurt him. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.